Tales of the TMNT just recently came out on Canadian Netflix. So far, the premise of the show is that after the events of Mutant Mayhem, the turtles are living pretty normal, mundane teenager lives. So to overcome the boredom, the turtles are telling either made-up stories or greatly exaggerating stuff that's happened in their lives. While I was watching, the show got me thinking about the writing advice, write what you know, which then led me to think on how we can actually apply it to writing our own comics or manga. The answer was staring me in the face because this is what the turtles are exactly doing in the show. Taking the boring and mundane but making it awesome. The thing is, you already do this too, and or heard it done before. If you've ever heard a comedian do stand-up or be interviewed, they do this all the time. What we'll do is apply it to comics or manga. I'll cover 2 simple ways we can do this. But first, how we start is actually something I learned from the YouTube channel drewscape. I highly recommend checking out these 2 videos before or after this video. We have to start with getting our mundane story written first. To break down drewscape's autobiographical comic story structure, it goes like this. At this time, in this location, I wanted something because. But this happened. So I did this. Therefore that. What I learned from that experience. Here's an example from something that happened to me the other day. My family and I came home really late at night after a day of hanging out with some really good friends. We were all really tired. I was ready to park our car, but the city snowplow piled up a bunch of snow at the foot of our driveway so we couldn't get in. My wife suggested I park the car on the side of the street, but I wanted to see if we could drive our car through the pile of snow. I got the car stuck in the snow. I should have listened to her because I had to spend almost an hour digging the car out and didn't get to bed until 1 a.m. Now, there are 2 simple ways we can take the mundane and make it awesome. The first way is through exaggeration. We could exaggerate the setting. What if it were a blizzard instead of a really cold winter night? Exaggerate the obstacle. What if the entire street was filled with snow instead of the foot of the driveway? Exaggerate the stakes. What if no one has slept in days instead of just being tired from being out a single day? Exaggerate the consequences. What if I had to dig for a whole 24 hours instead of 1 hour? Does your mind start to race with all kinds of ideas of how the story can play out and lead to its conclusion? How about if we just didn't exaggerate, but changed these elements? This is the second way we can take the mundane and make it into an awesome story for our comic or manga. What if the setting was ancient Babylon instead of present-day Canadian City? What if what I wanted was to end my day of farming early instead of going to bed? What if the obstacle was a plague of locusts instead of a snow bank? What if the stakes were losing a harvest instead of losing a few hours of sleep? What if the consequences of not listening to my wife was that my family and I became slaves to pay off our debt, instead of having to spend almost an hour digging out my car? The only thing you don't change or exaggerate is your lesson. That lesson is uniquely yours and the core and foundation of your story. Only you can share that lesson with others. What if your life is ultra boring and you think you can't make up a story for your comic or manga from it? You can. I'll show you. First, a really mundane, ultra boring story. This morning I really needed to use the bathroom. But I wanted to throw out some garbage first before I went. So I gathered all of the trash, got it out to the curb as quickly as I could, then went to the bathroom. I felt pretty good getting rid of that stuff out of the house. It was while sitting on the toilet that I made the connection. It feels good to get rid of waste. Simple, yet profound, right? Now let's jump right into changing some elements to make a cool story out of it for your comic or manga. How about instead of really needing to go potty, the main character of the story needed to escape from being sucked into a black hole? How about instead of wanting to get rid of garbage first, the MC needed to reprogram the systems of their ship in order to escape the black hole? How about instead of the unnecessary risk of pooping my pants, the MC and whoever is also on the ship will die? How about instead of getting the garbage to the curb and making it to the bathroom, the MC discovers the bad code that's messed up the system, gets rid of it, making the system computer fully functional again. Then he is able to steer clear of the black hole before it's too late? The cool thing about this exercise is that one lesson, realization, or insight you gained from an experience you had can result in an infinite amount of stories to tell. And it doesn't have to come from something really wild that's happened to you. This is a lot of fun. In my next video, I'm going to continue with this and show you how I'd turn one of these scripts into a comic. If you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching and God bless.